Hello everybody and welcome to Day 2 of 30 Days of Godzilla. Today we're going to be looking at the second entry in the Godzilla series, Godzilla Raids Again, or it is also known as Gigantis the Fire Monster. Gigantis? It's Godzilla, goddammit! Well, it's time to talk about Godzilla's rather disappointing second outing. Basically what happened with this one is Toho was drunk off the success of the first movie, so they quickly went into production and rushed this movie out no more than 6 months later. What follows is a rather cheap-looking and uninteresting entry in the series. Now, I have tried for years to get into this movie. Believe me, I have tried, but no matter what I do, no matter how much I try, I just don't care for Godzilla Raids Again. Now, with that being said, I will say right away that the Japanese version is by far the better version. The American version is filled with endless narrations, they changed Godzilla's name to Gigantis, and there is a lot of stock footage of atom bomb testing, and they even managed to screw up Godzilla's roar sometimes by fusing it with Anguirus's. Oh, and there's this line.
I'm glad you're here. You're so brave, Tsukioka. Absolutely darling.
Banana oil.
Who says that? Oh yeah, that's George Takei doing the dubbing there.
Oh my.
It's obvious to me that the people who released this in America had no clue what they were doing. Hell, even on the DVD commentary they shit on the American version of this movie. That's pretty sad when your DVD commentary for your film shits on your film. They even managed to misspell names or rename people altogether. Aligi Tsuburai? It's Eiji Tsuburai, you morons. Hell, even the director's name is spelled wrong. And I'm sure there's plenty else wrong with it. I don't want to get into it much. The American producer who must have done this, Paul Schreiben, was probably smoking something when he put this film together. Okay, well, enough of my rambling. Let's dive into the plot for this one. So with this one, two pilots named Tsukioka and Kobayashi are out hunting for schools of fish when Kobayashi's plane malfunctions and he is forced to land his plane on an uninhabited island. So Tsukioka finds him, they start talking when two huge-ass giant monsters appear. One of them being Godzilla and the other being Anguirus or Anguillus. The name is pronounced differently so many times throughout the series that it is hard to keep track. However, I usually stick to calling him Anguirus. Now, Anguirus would become one of Godzilla's most popular allies, appearing in 7 Godzilla films. Yes, I am including Godzilla's Revenge, even though that's just stock footage. So he's been in 7. 6 in the Showa, and 1 in the Millennium. I'm surprised he wasn't in the Heisei series. So, you might be wondering how Godzilla is still alive after the end of the first movie. Well, the truth is that this is actually the second Godzilla of its kind. It's kind of weird that the second Godzilla is the main Godzilla that would appear throughout most of the series. Now, because the suit in the first movie was so damn heavy and tough to move around in, they decided to slim the second suit down a little bit so that the actors could actually perform some of the battles. The suit comes off as looking rather cheap and uninteresting, but hey, they had a rush production schedule, and Toho was still learning their craft at the time, so they hadn't yet perfected everything. Dr. Yamane, the only returning character from the first Godzilla movie, makes a brief appearance here, hence why he basically says that the military won't be able to kill Godzilla, and that the only logical solution would be to lure Godzilla away from the shore using flares. His plan seemingly works, however, out of nowhere a bunch of prisoners who are being transported escape this truck that they were in, and they steal a gasoline truck, which then crashes into some factory, which causes the building to start a massive fire, which in turn brings Godzilla back to shore. It was basically inevitable that the city would get destroyed. No matter what they do, it was unavoidable. It's just bound to happen. So Godzilla comes back to shore and unleashes hell. Anguirus follows him shortly afterwards, and they have a big epic battle. This was Godzilla's first battle in a major city, and while it's not his best, it's cool to see where they started. I feel like the black and white, in a way, helps a lot of the optical effects. The best part is when they take down Osaka Castle and Godzilla kills Anguirus. It's pretty cool. Godzilla just starts biting Anguirus' head. Then when he's done, he picks Anguirus up, throws him aside, and just blasts him with his atomic breath. And he fucking burns to death. Unlike in the first movie where there was a serious emotional tone felt after the destruction of the city, in this one the characters don't really carry the weight of all the destruction that has taken place. It just doesn't mesh very well. So after Godzilla's city attack, he leaves and is spotted later on heading to an icy island for some reason. So instead of killing Godzilla this time, the military decides to freeze him in an avalanche after Kobayashi acts like an idiot and crashes into the mountain, which then in turn causes an avalanche to start. I do like how they don't kill Godzilla this time, instead they freeze him, and it's a nice way to keep the series open for a sequel instead of giving us a cheap ending. So it's a firm balance with this one. So Godzilla's finally frozen and the rest of the characters mourn the death of their fallen comrade. It's definitely not as emotionally powerful as when Serizawa sacrificed himself in the last movie, but I'll let you be the judge of that. It's ironic here that Godzilla was in hibernation because for years the series would lay dormant until he would make a comeback. But during this time, Toho decided to make some more other giant monster movies that would soon cross over with the Godzilla series. There was Rodan, The Mysterians, Varan the Unbelievable, and Mothra. After these movies had become successes, Toho had realized that it was time for the king to make his big comeback in what would be known as the most famous monster battle of all time. Alright, that does it for Godzilla Raids Again here. As you can tell, I'm not that big of a fan of this one. Do I think it's the worst Godzilla film ever made? Probably not, but it's definitely one of the weaker ones. Anyways, yeah, that concludes my review on that one. So, just watch it if you're a fan. If not, I'd say skip it. Definitely just watch the original and the next one. Anyways, with that being said, wrap this up and be sure to come back tomorrow as I review the next Godzilla movie, which is the most famous monster movie battle of all time, King Kong versus Godzilla. The East versus the West. The two most famous monsters of all time in one film that's epic and crazy. So, be sure to come back tomorrow for that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.